this could be us. So back to what I was saying. Could be us.
Hey guys, thanks for joining A&E Best Profits on this trading review. This was on last Friday, the 14th of August. Just doing a little trading review, seeing what we did right, seeing what we did wrong, and just kind of going over some of the logic behind all the setups. So I hope you guys enjoy and sit back and watch, and feel free to give me your input at the end of the video too. Thanks. The first trade we just saw was a losing trade, and there is a clear reason why. Looking over to the left, we can see some significant selling pressure. Now, although at the current moment we have an uptrend and a proper setup, the problem that arises, I don't know if the seller on the left is going to come back or not. The better setup, of course, would be on the break of the last previous high, and as you can see, this trade did result in a loss, but a good lesson was learned. So setup number 2 is forming here, and I do want to cover the reasons for this trade being a valid high probability setup. The first thing to notice is the sideways movement along with the reversal that occurred with a substantial amount of speed. I'll make sure to cover the speed indicator in a later video. Now, this trade did break the previous high with a proper setup bar, and being in an uptrend, we know people are jumping in with excitement and people are closing their positions in fear. This basically just gives us the perfect opportunity to really reel in some profits. We can see here the trade did run, which means we made 2 pips and our stop loss was moved to break even. After locking down the small profit and removing all risk of loss, every pip above my entry is actually just extra cash in the pocket. Okay, so this is great. We have a runner, but what's the exit strategy? Obviously, we need to lock down some extra profit, and this is something I'm still working on, of course. What seems to be working the best is waiting for some type of bottom to form, and on the candle close below that previous low, I'll exit the position. Losers are a part of the game, and I got a couple trades to review on where things went wrong. On this third trade, there is a couple things that we need to notice. The first thing is we're in a really slow and choppy down movement, and along with that, we literally just had some really strong buying pressure. And then, the other thing is we're already kind of overextended, on that down movement. So where's the potential sell, you could say, after we see some sideways movement? We're not going to just head straight back down. That's just not how the markets work. With some sideways movement, then we could potentially look for some sort of selling. But again, it depends on the setup, how it looks, where we're at in the markets, time of day, things like that. Reviewing over the second loss, it's actually clear as day why this trade was a bad trade. The first big point to be made is the trade does not have enough room to reach our 5-pip target, which covers both the spread and locks down those profits as well. The second point is we're extremely overextended and we're falling right into the buyer's territory or previous buying pressure. However you'd like to look at that, it's just not a good place to be selling. This is why patience pays off, because right after we placed 2 losers in a row, we were greeted with a really good setup. This setup meets all the minimum criteria related to the setup bar and the break of support and resistance. The other factors that make this a really nice trade is, again, being in a uptrend. Along with that, we had buyers come up strong, not only once, but twice. And on that second push, we did break the previous high, and of course, support and resistance. And then we can also notice the short but prominent sideways movement of the market, which also assists us in letting us know that it's ready to go or it's ready to run. So a really good trade setup here. On this setup here, we had great confirmation, short and quick consolidation in the support and resistance zone, and a break of the zone along with a break of a trend line. Now, technically, I do have some S&R below But part of this trade being a gut feeling, and also knowing that our uptrend is getting really overextended, we do have to break down at some point. So you're probably wondering, like, what's the logic behind this trade? But besides all the technicals with the trend line breaks and SNR and things like that. Well, the first thing to notice is when looking over to the left, we do see a seller, right in the same area where we just fell from. So we know someone's selling there, of course. Then the second point to be made is the buyers who last pushed from that prior support, well, they're going to be getting stopped out of their position, and we also know people are going to be jumping in, to sell this. And with this logic behind our back, we do see the trade ends up having a pretty nice run, and this can be the the golden opportunity of reversals, which can lead to some really big profits. So there's something, there are trades to be looking out for. But you do have to be patient. You really got to wait for that confirmation and that logic. You need to have the logic behind you too. The last setup for the morning was only if you're looking to be aggressive. With such a big down movement, if you're trying to be conservative, you probably should just pass on the trade. But we can go ahead and take a look into the logic behind it. So looking over to our left, we do see some strong buying pressure at the level that it fell to. At the same time, we do see the market form a small sideways consolidation pattern, which again, leads to a proper breakout setup. And we could also go ahead and include the fact that most trendline breaks end up having a pullback. So at the end of the day, including that last trade if you took it, and assuming we had no losers, we would be up $134. Including the losers, it actually comes out to right around $30, which is the outcome of a high probability and also high risk system. There's no such thing as low risk, high reward, and at the end of the day, you just have to find what works time and time again, even if your risk and reward doesn't follow textbook rules. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, guys, and I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to hearing your opinion and feedback. So thanks, guys. Have a good one.